Hi there. How are you doing? I hope you are enjoying learning English. Did you have enough practice at home? I hope so. Welcome to our next lesson. Let's get started. Lesson 11. How are you today? Do you enjoy today's weather? Let's act out the dialogue. Fill in your own answers. I ask you some questions. You answer them. What is your name? How old are you? Are you married? Good job. There are some more speaking phrases. Where are you from? When somebody asks you, where are you from? You can answer, I am from. Then you can say the name of your city and then the name of your country. Where are you from? I am from Obuchiv, Ukraine. Where are you from? I am from Kiev, Ukraine. Where are you from? I am from Calgary, Canada. So where are you from? Next question. What's your phone number? My phone number is. When you give somebody your phone number, it's very important to make pauses between numbers. For example, 405-732-5601. Practice saying your phone number. What's your phone number? This is a very good idea to memorize your phone number in order to use different services and to be able to do different things. You will need to tell what your phone number is. So you might hear this question very often when you are abroad, wherever you go. So just remember your phone number and be ready to tell it when it is needed. Do you remember these two phrases? There is, there are. If you don't, go to our previous lesson and learn this information. But if you do remember, let's make some sentences about these pictures. What can you see in the first picture? Do you know the name of this fruit? This is a pineapple. So let's make a sentence about pineapple. I will shortly remind you that we use there is to speak about the existence of something, of an object or an animal or a person in any place. So if I want to say that pineapple is on the table, I should use there is. For example, there is a pineapple on the table. What about cherries? There are 4 cherries. So I'm going to use there are for plural form. There are 4 cherries on the plate. Now it's your turn. Make sentences about a pear and about bananas. Make a pause and speak or write. Then check your answers. Correct answers. There is a pear on the plate. There are some bananas on the table. If you have more than one object, you can use many or some or certain amount. For example, there are 12 bananas on the table, or there are many bananas on the table. If you don't want to count them, you can just say there are some bananas on the table. Are you ready for the next one? Think about it, then check your answers. Correct answers. There is a watermelon on the table. There are some grapes in the vase, or there are many grapes in the vase. So you can say vase or vase. Both options are correct. Next picture. Correct answers. There are 6 melons in the box, or there are some melons in the box. There are many melons in the box. There is a lemon in the tree. What about these ones? Check yourself. There are many plums in the tree. Or you can say there are 2 plums in the tree if you want to speak about these certain plums. There is a peach on the plate. And now let's make some questions. Make a pause and make question sentences. For example, is there a pineapple on the table? Are there 4 chairs on the plate? Now your turn. Correct answers. Is there a pear on the plate? Are there many bananas on the table? What about these ones? Correct answers. Is there a watermelon on the table? Are there many grapes in the vase? Make some more questions. Correct answers. Are there melons in the box? Is there a lemon in the tree? Good job. What about these ones? Correct answers. Are there 2 plums in the tree? Are there many plums in the tree? Is there a peach on a plate? Perfect. Now let's make some negative sentences. To make negative sentences, we need to put participle not after the verb to be. There is not, there are not. Or you can use short forms. There isn't, there aren't. For example, there isn't a pineapple on the table. There aren't 4 cherries on the plate. It's your turn now. Correct answers. There isn't a pear on the plate. There aren't many bananas on the table. There isn't a watermelon on the table. There aren't many grapes in the vase. Correct answers. There aren't 6 melons in the box. There isn't a lemon in the tree. Correct answers. There aren't 2 plums in the tree. There isn't a peach on the plate. Perfect. Here are some examples of correct answers for picture number 1 and for picture number 2. If you are a little bit confused, just have a look at these examples, then go back to our pictures and practice as more as it is needed just to improve your speaking practice and to become able to make sentences easily just looking at the picture. Then you can have some more practice. Look around and just name what you can see. For example, there is a cup on my desk. There is a computer in front of me. There is a lamp next to my computer, and so on. Try to practice as more as possible, speaking about all things around, all day long. This is how our brain remembers grammar structures, and it will help you a lot with your speaking in future. Good job! Let's have some more practice. This is a writing exercise. You have to make sentences about the pictures using there is, there are, and fruit vocabulary. Make a pause and write down the sentences. Your sentences should start with there is or there are. For example, there are 2 pears. You can add on the table, there are 2 pears on the table, or on the plate, there are 2 pears on the plate. Make a pause, write down 6 sentences, then check your answers. Correct answers. There are 2 pears. There are many bananas. There is a cherry. There are some lemons. There is a grape. There are some oranges. Perfect. Now let's make short dialogues, like an example. Are there 5 apples on the table? Have a look. Are there 5 apples on the table? No, only 3. So we answer like this. No, there aren't. There are 3 apples. You can ask some more questions. For example, are there 2 bananas on the table? No, there aren't. There is only 1 banana. You can make the same with everything else. Is there 1 lemon? No, there isn't. There are 3 lemons. Pause this video and make as many short dialogues as you can. Each dialogue should consist of 2 lines. Are there or is there a question sentence, and then short answers and correction. Oh, this is a great exercise. If you struggle with making these sentences orally, you can write them down. It will be easier for you. Anyway, you did a great job. Let's go further. Countable and uncountable nouns. This is our next grammar topic, and it is extremely important, like each topic in this course. Have a look at this picture. Tell me, please, how do you think? Is it breakfast, lunch, or dinner? I would say that this is a breakfast. but it might be something between breakfast and lunch. Do you know how we call this in English? The name of it is brunch. When you woke up late at the weekend, for example, and it is not a morning, it is not an afternoon, it's something between. Maybe 11 o'clock. You call it brunch. Do you like having brunch at the weekend? I like having brunch because I feel so hungry at 11 o'clock if I haven't had my breakfast earlier. What kind of food can you see in this picture? Can you make some sentences with there is and there are? For example, there are 3 eggs. There is 1 fried egg. There are 2 croissants. There are some pancakes. There is some olive oil. There is some milk, and so on. Pause this video and make your own sentences. As many as possible. Wonderful. I hope you are not feeling very hungry. But if you are, have a snack. Here are some rules. Countable and uncountable nouns. In few words, countable nouns are nouns that can be counted. You can say how many of these there is. For example, 1 pencil, 2 pencils, 3 pencils, 4 pencils, and so on. 1 cup, 2 cups. 1 computer, 6 computers. You can say how many, you can count them. Uncountable nouns are nouns that cannot be counted. For example, air. You cannot say 1 air. The same with water, 3 water. We cannot count meat. We cannot count bread or cheese, right? You cannot say give me 3 breads because we don't understand how many is that. Each time when you learn a new noun, you should check if it is countable or uncountable. And you need to know how it is used in the sentence. Take a look at these pictures. All these nouns in the picture are uncountable. That's why we use some other words to tell how much things we have. For example, milk. It's not possible to tell I had 2 milks today, right? Milk is uncountable. But you can say I had 2 glasses of milk. You cannot say I drank 5 waters. No, but I drank 5 glasses of water. When you come to the store, you don't tell give me 3 meats. You say give me 1 kilo of meat or 3 kilos of meat. There are some common uncountable nouns in this picture. Make a print screen or just copy these words into your vocabulary and learn them by heart. It is very important to know them. Now I'm going to read these words twice, and your task is to repeat after me and to remember the correct pronunciation. Let's start. A bottle of milk. A bottle of milk. A glass of water. A glass of water. A jug of water. A jug of water. A cup of tea. A cup of tea. A packet of tea. A packet of tea. A jar of honey. A jar of honey. A loaf of bread. A loaf of bread. A slice of bread. A slice of bread. A carton of milk. A carton of milk. A can of Coke. A can of Coke. A bottle of Coke. A bottle of Coke. A bowl of sugar. A bowl of sugar. A kilo of meat. A kilo of meat. A bar of soap. A bar of soap. A bar of chocolate. A bar of chocolate. A piece of chocolate. A piece of chocolate. A piece of cheese. A piece of cheese. A piece of furniture. A piece of furniture. Revise these words as often as possible. Try to remember them. Try to learn them. Now let's do this exercise. There are 2 boxes, countable nouns and uncountable nouns. And there are some pictures and words. Let's read these words. Apples, rice, cherries, coffee, bread, burgers. cheese, grapes. How do you think? Which nouns are countable and which nouns are uncountable? Make a pause and write down these words in two boxes. Correct answers. Countable nouns are apples, cherries, burgers, and grapes. Uncountable nouns: rice, coffee, bread, and cheese. If you made any mistakes, don't worry. It's just the beginning of the topic. And if you have any questions about it, you can ask me in comments below. Let's go further. In first exercise, there are 27 different words. Your task is to take a look at them carefully and write down letter C if you think that the word is countable. And write down letter U if you think that the word is uncountable. Pause this video and do this exercise in writing. Then check your answers. Correct answers: bananas, countable; lemonade, uncountable; biscuits, countable; meat, uncountable; bottles, countable; pasta, uncountable; bread, uncountable; plate, countable; butter, uncountable; soup, uncountable; coffee, uncountable; sweets, countable; crisps, countable; tea, uncountable; flour, uncountable; water, uncountable; grapes, countable; yogurt, uncountable; sandwich, countable; cheese, uncountable; cream, uncountable; egg, countable; sauce, uncountable; chocolate, uncountable; potatoes, countable; cakes, countable; apples, countable. Good job! Do you remember how many vowels there are in English alphabet? There are 5, and Y is semivowel. So vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. All other letters are consonants: B, C, D, F, and so on. This is important for our next topic, because we are speaking about articles. Articles a and an. What is the difference between them? It's very easy. We use article a when the word starts with consonant. A ball, a rabbit, a desk, a lamp, a computer. And we use article an for words which start with vowels. For example, an octopus, an egg, an umbrella. If you learn all vowels, you will know all consonants automatically, because there are only 5 vowels in English. We use articles a and an when we speak about one object, or about one person, about one thing, about one animal. So a and an means one. But if we have more than one, we can say the number 2, 3, 5, 10, 11, or we can say some when we don't want to say the exact number. We use articles an with singular countable nouns: a dog, a pencil, an egg. And we use some with plural of countable nouns and with uncountable nouns. You can say some apples, some children, some water, some sugar. We can use some with uncountable nouns as well. Can I have some water? Give me some sugar. Would you like to have some rice? This word is amazing because it can be used with both plural of countable and with uncountable nouns. Take a look at this exercise. You have to choose between articles a, an, or to use the word some. One more time. We can use a and an only with singular of countable nouns, only with one object or person or animal or thing. We can use some with more than one object or with uncountable nouns when we cannot count something, like sugar, rain, air, juice, and so on. Now, pause this video and do this exercise. Then check your answers. Correct answers: some apples, some orange juice, some milk, a potato, some coffee, some tomatoes, some eggs, an apple, an egg, a pear, some carrots, some lemons, some bread, some honey, a mushroom. Find some more exercises in a link below and do them as your home task. Now do the same with these words. Put articles a, an, or some. Pause this video and do this exercise in writing. Correct answers: some boys, some bread, a bowl, some books, a table, an orange, some oranges, an ostrich, some oil. Wonderful! One more task. Look at the picture and say what you see using there is, there are, some, a, or an. For example, there is some juice on the table. Make as many sentences as you can. Possible answers: there is some juice in the glass, or there is a glass of juice on the table. There is some milk on the table. There are some pancakes. There is some butter. There is some honey. There is some coffee. There are 2 eggs. Or there are some eggs. There are some toasts. There is some bacon. There are some berries. There is some cheese. Excellent! Whew, it was a hard lesson. During today's lesson, we have already revised there is and there are, all forms, positive, negative, question, and we have learned what nouns are countable and what nouns are uncountable. I hope you remember that. We also learned some articles, a and an for singular form, and we learned the cases when we use the word some. And I hope you remember that we use some with plural and with uncountable nouns. I recommend you to take some notes and to learn all uncountable nouns. This will help you a lot in the future. You worked hard today, and hard work is always rewarded. So learn some new words, do your home task, and improve your knowledge. It was nice to see you today. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy your studying, and see you in our next lesson. Bye!